Welcome to another Coastin With Quayz coaster review. This is Mark, aka Quayz. Today I will be reviewing the Intamin multi-launching coaster Pantheon at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Pantheon's manufacturer Intamin is known for their unique layouts, low-to-the-ground elements, and intensity. When Pantheon was announced, it quickly went to the top of my most anticipated coasters, and now I can finally talk about what it is like to experience this great ride. Another fantastic Intamin coaster, Maverick at Cedar Point, is a coaster that many were comparing Pantheon to when it was announced. Considering Maverick is one of my all-time favorite coasters, Pantheon had some big expectations to live up to. Between Pantheon's multiple launches, inversions, and directional changes, this ride has a lot going on, so let's take a look at Pantheon's stats to go over the basics. Pantheon is located at Busch Gardens Williamsburg in Virginia. It was manufactured by Intamin. The top hat features a maximum height of 178 feet. Pantheon also includes 4 launches, 3 forward, 1 backward. The angle of descent on the top hat is 95 degrees. The overall length of the ride is 3,328 feet with a top speed of 73 miles per hour. It features 2 inversions. It opened in the year 2022 and it has a minimum height requirement of 52 inches. With its launches going in multiple directions, Pantheon has a fairly unique layout. So let's take a look at its course. Immediately out of the station, Pantheon takes a left-hand turn and rolls right into its first launch. This launch provides a nice little punch directly into Pantheon's first inversion, a 0G roll that transitions into a 180-degree right-hand turn. After the turn, Pantheon glides over a couple of small, twisting airtime hills and into the best part of the ride, the multiple launches. It's nothing new for a coaster to go forwards, then backwards, then forwards. This is standard for Intamin impulse coasters such as Possessed or the many Skyrocket 2 clones like Tempesto. Pantheon stands apart from the rest in that its multi-directional launches are long, intense, and include fantastic ejector airtime. On Pantheon, you speed forward and over LSM motors. There is a short break in the motors as you pass over a great mid-launch ejector hill. Just after the hill, you accelerate again over more LSMs and climb about 3/4 of the way up Pantheon's top hat. Next, you roll back, hit the LSMs again, and get blasted over the ejector airtime hill a second time. On this pass, the airtime is more intense, and because you cannot see exactly when you are passing over the hill, it feels even more forceful. Speaking of forces, as you begin catapulting upwards the backwards vertical spike, you experience great negative Gs, followed by a moment of weightlessness as you reach the top of the spike. And then you get to experience the forward launch a second time, including a third trip over the incredible ejector airtime hill. By this point in the ride cycle, you are having an absolute blast, but there is still plenty of ride left. You reach the crest of the top hat, and as you begin slowing down, you fall down the opposite side at 95 degrees and get some great airtime as your speed builds back up. Next, you fly over an outward banked airtime hill and get some sustained airtime before making a long right-hand bank turn into the second inversion, a 0G stall. This is a fantastic moment of the ride, and considering that Pantheon only has 2 inversions, they both feel fun and exciting. To finish off the ride, you make a fast left-hand turn followed by some quick twists and a right-facing wave turn into the brake run. This wave turn is smooth, fun, and provides a quick moment of weightlessness to finish off the ride. As soon as I finished my first ride on Pantheon, I could not wait to get back in line and go on again. Each moment of Pantheon is exciting, and I think it perfectly balances comfort with thrill and intensity. Maverick at Cedar Point is definitely more intense, and I think that some enthusiasts were hoping for a little more of that Maverick intensity with Pantheon, but if I'm being totally honest, I prefer Pantheon. Don't get me wrong, Maverick may be a top 10 coaster for me, but I think Pantheon is just more enjoyable, and you still get those moments of intensity with the ejector airtime hill in the main launch and with the vertical spike. It is really difficult for me to find faults with Pantheon. The launches have great acceleration, the airtime throughout is varied but strong, the inversions contrast the more forceful elements well, and the overall length is just right for this type of coaster. If I really had to nitpick and find something to fix, I would probably point out the quick twists and small airtime hills right before the main launch section. There's nothing wrong with these elements, but they do not do anything new or exceptional. I think they're just there to provide something fun before you enter the launches, instead of going over some simple straight track. I was able to get multiple rides on Pantheon in different seats. For the most part, I did not notice much difference between them. The front of the train was really fun when going over the launches and while almost reaching the top of the top hat before the rollback. The back was great while going up the vertical spike and for its continuous speed throughout the ride. No matter where you sit on Pantheon, you get an amazing ride, and that is a great example of the ride's top-notch design. For me, Pantheon is easily the best ride at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, and it has entered my top 5 coasters of all time. Because of that, I'm going to give Pantheon a whopping 10 out of 10. Intamin did an exceptional job with this ride, and I cannot wait to get back to ride it again. And that brings us to the end of this coaster review. If you liked what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, keep on coasting.